Hey, what's up guys, Malik is here. In today's tutorial I will show you how to create a dynamic text inside Davinci Resolve. Let's start by adding a text node and type something like text. Now basically if you want to animate this inside the mask, you've probably done this before by adding a rectangle and connecting it to the text node and making some changes to the size, and then go to text, go to frame 10 for example, go to layout, add the keyframe in the center, go back to frame 0 and bring this down like this, and you've got this simple animation. Now the problem here, if you want to add or use this one for this specific text, that's fine, but if you want to use it over and over with different text, if we let's say we add a few words, you can see that the text disappear and you've got to go back to your rectangle and increase the size of the mask. But we want to do this dynamically, so let's delete our mask and copy our text one, Ctrl C, then Ctrl Shift V to create a new instance. Let's bring the second viewer here, and now in the new instance, go to shading, right click on appearance, click on the instance, then select border fill, and we've got this border fill. Now change the level from character to text, and we're gonna use this new instance as a mask. So if we go to text and add any words, you can see that the new instance reacts to our text. If we add another line, you can see it also reacts to our text. So we're gonna use this as a mask. Now in order to do that, add the channel boolean node after the text one, then simply connect the instance to the mask input. Go to channel boolean settings and check the multiply by mask. Now let's delete the first animation, and I'm gonna use a transform node to animate this text. So shift space, select transform node and add it here. Let's go to frame 20, add the keyframe in the center, go back to frame 0 and bring this down like this, and this is what we have. You can see now if I add any text or add any words, you can see that the text is dynamic. Now the only problem is when we add multiple lines. You can see if we add multiple lines, you can see that the text starts peaking. Now in order to solve this problem, we're gonna add some opacity. So simply go back to text one, go to frame 10, go to shading, then add the keyframe to the opacity, go back to frame 0 and bring the opacity down to 0, and we've got something like this. So you can see this is much better. Now if we add any number of lines, you can see it's dynamic and it's way better. Now if you want to use this over and over, you can simply save it as a macro inside of Fusion or inside the edit page. Let's start by selecting all of them, right click, macro, create macro. Let's type text as a name, then we go to our text and select the style text, font, style, the colors, and the size and the tracking. If you want to select anything else, feel free to do that. Now after that, go to file, save, and click on save. Let's close this and remove all of this. Now if you click shift space and simply type text, you're gonna have your text here, and you can change the content of the text, you can change the font, the color, the size, and everything. Now let's add it to our edit page. So right click, edit macro, and go to your text. Let's change it to something like simple text. Go to file, save as. Now go back to Fusion, go to the template folder, then edit, then titles. Now let's save it as simple text. Save, yes, and close. Now if we go back to the edit page and remove this, if we go to title and type your simple text, you can find it here, and you can bring it to the timeline like this. From here you can change the content, You can change the font if you want. You can change the color and the size, and finally the tracking. So this is a simple way to create a dynamic text inside of Davinci Resolve. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. This is Malik and I will see you in the next one.